yeah, I did change. And I'm really glad I changed. Because rather than getting drunk, falling out of... I don't think that we can ever have peace with my family unless the truth is out there. I believe that my family have been briefing the press solidly for well over a decade.
Okay, wait a second. What if, and just hear me out here, what if Buckingham Palace just pulled off the longest, coldest power move in royal history? Like, imagine this. Harry and Meghan, so deep in their own whirlwind, thinking they're taking control of their story. And meanwhile, the palace is just sitting there, poker-faced, playing the ultimate long game. Because, oh my god, this situation is absolutely insane. They left, right? They walked away saying they wanted peace, privacy, a normal life for their babies. You know, no flashing cameras, no royal pressure, no drama. Just them being a chill, happy family in California. Sounds fair enough, right?
But when researchers looked into the medical records, they discovered something unsettling. The doctor said to have delivered Lilibet.
Except, have you seen the number of interviews, documentaries, podcasts, and tell-alls they've done since then? Like, come on, more than any royal in history. So, yeah, the whole we want privacy thing, it's got people a little confused because their actions, they tell a whole different story. But here's where it gets wild. They left to protect Archie and Lilibet from the royal spotlight, right? Yet those same kids kept popping up whenever the moment called for it. Meghan would tearfully talk about how hard palace life was, then bam, the next minute she's asking for the very titles and royal recognition that come from the same institution she said caused her pain.
Did you know that Meghan Markle never takes her children to public events? Her eldest, Archie Harrison, he has not been given a princely...
Like, imagine you've fallen out with someone, but then still expect an invite to their fancy birthday party. It's that kind of energy. Meanwhile, the palace, silent. No reaction, no rebuttal, no tea-spilling Netflix series from their side, just waiting. But, oh, when that silence finally broke, whew, honey, it shattered like glass. And what they've quietly done to Archie and Lilibet's place in royal history. Way more powerful than any headline, any book, or any interview could ever be.
Media think that Harry could get any woman he wanted. Well, he might have been able...
Here's the real kicker. It's not even about some new feud or fresh drama. Nope, this goes way, way back to a system that's been set in stone since 1917. And get this, nobody, not even Meghan Markle with her global spotlight and Netflix deals, just waltzes in and rewrites it. So, back in 1917, King George V, yeah, the Queen's grandfather, issued this official thing called the Letters Patent. Sounds dusty and boring, I know, but hold up because this is the blueprint for the entire royal setup. It's the document that literally defines who gets to be called prince or princess in that family. Think of it as the royal rule book. No exceptions, no emotional loopholes, no, but we're different. Clauses.
You seen that video?
No.
Pull that video up, because it's one of my favorites.
Many people doubt Meghan has long been a mother, following her attendance.
The Letters Patent spells out 3 main rules. First, you've got to be of royal blood. Makes sense. Second, you've got to be born within the Crown's jurisdiction, properly registered under the British system. And third, you need that religious tie to the Church of England. That's it. No special passes for being famous, no bonus points for having a Netflix special. And listen, this wasn't some sneaky thing made to target anyone. It was designed to stop total chaos. Because imagine if there were no clear rules. Suddenly, every distant cousin, influencer, or ex who once dated a royal could claim their kid deserves a title. Absolute madness, right? So those dusty papers from 1917, they're the guardrails keeping this centuries-old machine from spinning out of control. And honestly, that kind of document carries more power than any emotional speech or streaming deal ever could.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have revealed a rare new image of their kids, Archie and Lilibet.
Because here's the truth. Buckingham Palace doesn't run on feelings or trends or public sympathy. It runs on tradition. On rules so old they might as well be carved into stone. And if you break one rule even just a little bit, boom, you open the floodgates. Suddenly everyone's begging for just one exception. Everyone's situation becomes unique. That's how systems crumble. Love them or hate them, say what you want about the royals, but order is everything to them. That's how they've survived scandals, wars, divorces, and Netflix docuseries. They stick to the structure.
Almost like it's not your child, it's the institution's child. She's saying, no, this is my baby. I was there when she...
And trust me, they're not throwing that away anytime soon. So here's where Harry and Meghan come in. They took their shot. They thought their global fame, their media presence, their ability to control the narrative could pressure Buckingham Palace into bending those old school rules. You know, make an exception because, well, they're them. But nope, the palace just pulled out that 1917 rulebook like, sorry, darling, it's been decided for over a century. The message was clear. Institutions don't bend just because you've got a good story. Systems don't care about your social media following. Those dusty royal decrees matter way more than anyone realized.
Does Meghan always hide her kids' faces? No one realized it's her way of getting attention. Not long ago, photos of Meghan.
Turns out, the game was already decided before it even started. So, May 2019, Archie arrives. Should have been a fairy tale moment, right? The perfect royal baby moment that Britain lives for. The grand announcements, the media excitement, the entire world watching with hearts melting. Should have been simple, but it wasn't. Should have been simple. Oh no, it got weird. At first, everything looked perfectly royal. Official announcement, happy photos, Harry and Meghan beaming as proud new parents. But then, something happened that made everyone start whispering.
Before her royal chapter ever began, a child allegedly born during her teenage years. And if true,
Archie's birth certificate was changed, not just edited, but altered after it was already official. And not in a small way. Meghan's actual name, gone. Poof! Instead of saying Rachel Meghan, which is her real legal name, it now just read Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. No personal name, just title. Now, if you're thinking, no big deal, oh honey, in royal circles, that's huge. Because here's the thing, it had literally never been done before. Not with Diana, not with Kate. Their real names stayed right there on their kids' certificates. No edits, no mysterious changes weeks later. So what gives? Why was Meghan's name scrubbed? Did she want it gone? Did the palace make that call? Was it an image thing? A power thing? Nobody ever explained it? No official statement? No. Oh, here's why we did that. It just happened, quietly. And that silence? It spoke volumes. People noticed, people talked, because when everything in the royal family follows the same script for decades and suddenly something breaks the pattern, it's not random. It means something. Think about it. Birth certificates aren't some casual form you edit on a whim, especially not for a royal baby. They're permanent. They're the foundation of lineage, the receipts of history. Every royal baby before Archie had their documents spotless, predictable by the book. Archie's, different. It stood out. And when something stands out in the monarchy, that's never by accident. That's the system saying something without saying it. The world saw this cute little baby in a blanket, proud parents smiling for the cameras. Looked normal, right? But behind the scenes, the paperwork was telling a different story. Like someone quietly changing the locks and pretending nothing happened. You notice, you feel it. And if Archie's birth was raising eyebrows, Lilibet's? Oh, it took things to another level entirely. June 2021, Lilibet Diana is born. California sunshine, not London fog. And right from the start, you could tell. This was not a typical royal baby situation. No Buckingham Palace announcement, no official bulletin posted on the gates, no beaming appearance from the Queen's staff. Instead, just a press release from Harry and Meghan's team. That's it, no official nod from the palace whatsoever. Now, if this were any other Hollywood couple, totally fine. You drop a PR statement, people say, "aw," and move on. But we're talking royal lineage here. And historically, royal babies have always gotten at least a polite nod from the palace. It's part of the ritual. It's what links that child to centuries of royal history. But with Lilibet, nothing. No statement from the Queen, no formal record, no trace of her birth being registered in the royal archives. And that wasn't an oversight. That was intentional. See, when the palace acknowledges a birth, it's not just a courtesy. It's an official inclusion in the royal family tree. By staying silent, they were showing, plainly, where things stood. When William and Kate had their kids, there were bells ringing, cheers in the streets, official announcements. It was all about, here's the next chapter in royal history. With Lilibet, though, it was handled like a sweet private family moment. Personal, yes, but not institutional. And in royal language, silence is never neutral. It's a message all on its own. So, what did that silence say? It said, she's their daughter, yes, but she's not being included in the royal framework. From the palace's perspective, she's not woven into the official fabric of royal history. Most people didn't even notice. They saw the cute baby name, the loving family photos, and moved on. But if you know how royal machinery works, that missing acknowledgement screamed volumes. Because for the royal institution, record-keeping is everything. If your name's not in their official documents, you're not part of the system. And for Lilibet, there was no entry. So now we get to the baptism drama, and oh my, this is where things start to spill over like scalding tea. In the royal world, a baptism isn't just a sweet church moment with godparents and lace gowns. Nope. It's a declaration that this child belongs to the institution. It's like signing their royal membership card. From the family side, this all probably looks final, like the system has spoken. There's no reversing it. But again, that's the royal way. They don't do messy public back and forths. They just file the paperwork and move on. And so the fate of these two kids, Archie and Lilibet, was sealed not by headlines, not by speeches, but by quiet bureaucratic process. Now here's the part that gets everyone's hearts twisting. Archie and Lilibet didn't ask for any of this. They didn't choose the spotlight or the silence. They're just growing up in California, surrounded by love, probably unaware of how much noise their names cause across the ocean. But one day they'll understand. They'll know they were born into two worlds, and only one of those worlds decided to write them in. And maybe, just maybe, that's what makes their stories so fascinating and so tragic at the same time. Because for all the glamour, all the fame, all the interviews and palace drama, this is ultimately a story about belonging, about two parents trying to hold on to a legacy, and an institution determined to protect its traditions at all costs. And it's wild, right? The monarchies survived everything. Wars, divorces, scandals, but somehow this quiet paperwork drama over two innocent kids feels like one of its coldest moves yet. So here we are, Archie and Lilibet, beloved children, part of royal blood by birth, yet officially outside the royal structure. Their parents wanted to rewrite the rules, but the system didn't budge. No press statement, no public declaration. Just a silent, centuries-old institution saying, this is how it's always been, and this is how it will stay. And that's Buckingham Palace's real power move. Not rage, not revenge, just silence, followed by the faint scratch of a pen making it official. Now tell me, that's not the most royal kind of shade you've ever heard of. Because when you look back at it all, the announcements, the silence, the edits, the omissions, it's clear this wasn't some random fallout. It was a slow, calculated move that's been building for years. So when people say Buckingham Palace broke their silence, they're not wrong. They did it without a speech, without a camera. Just a decision that echoes louder than any interview ever could. And that's what makes it so iconic and so chilling. Because the palace didn't just respond to Harry and Meghan, they rewrote the ending. Quietly, permanently, royally. And now the question everyone's asking, could fame, influence, or public love ever change a system that's been running the same way for over 100 years? Turns out the answer's simpler than anyone wanted to admit. No. The monarchy doesn't move for anyone, not even the most famous couple in the world. And that's the T.